Why are you being scared? You can't get scared when someone gets close to you, Michaela.
It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT. I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so we're going to go for a little nighttime walk here in the beautiful, friendly confines of Ota City, Tokyo, Japan. But while we're doing that, I wanted to talk about a fight because this fight right here, man, this fight's one that's marked on my calendar. You know, a lot of people ask me about what fights I'm excited about in boxing, and oftentimes it's not even the big fights. So this is a fight back in the States. This will more than likely be the first fight that I attend when I get back to the States. And it's gonna be an interesting one because it's a fight between two fighters from two gyms in South Florida I'm very familiar with. So let's talk about it. So y'all can say the date, May the 26th on DAZN. This is going to be part of Jake Paul's Most Valuable Prospect series because this fight is going to be promoted by Most Valuable Promotions. So shout out to Jake Paul. Jake Paul, you know, I've given him criticism in the past, but this is a good fight, a real good fight. So Most Valuable Promotions, in association with the fine folks at Box Lab Promotions, they're putting on a fight at the Caribe Royale Hotel in Orlando, which is a beautiful hotel. Never gone there for a fight, so this will be my first time going there. But you're going to have South Florida's very own 6-0 heavyweight prospect Lorenzo Medina. You know, he's gonna be taking on Andrey Mangushev, the Russian fighter, 7-0, former Tyson Fury sparring partner. Both guys I'm familiar with, both guys I've interviewed. These guys' gyms are familiar with each other because Lorenzo trains at a gym in South Florida called Bay to Bay Boxing. Andre trains at Warriors Gym, and I know that in the past, many times, Bay to Bay fighters go spar at Warriors Gym, you know? So these gyms are very familiar with each other, but an interesting fight. And Lorenzo Medina, let's start with him because he probably goes into this fight as the favorite. The consensus seems to be in South Florida amongst the boxing community in South Florida that Lorenzo will be the favorite and he will come out victorious because, you know, when we talk about fighters and their amateur pedigree, he fought at a higher level as an amateur, right? He's been an improved fighter. I mean, Lorenzo Medina the last 3 years in South Florida has probably been the most improved fighter every year for the last 3 years because if you just go back to 2020, you had Lorenzo Medina who, truth be told, from a national perspective, was not on anybody's radar nationally. He was losing a lot of fights to fighters in the amateurs that he probably shouldn't have lost to. But he had to go through that process to get to where he is now, and he came out of nowhere in 2021 when he won the national title at super heavyweight, and he defeated Diego Pacheco's brother, Federico Pacheco, who at the time was heavy favorite, and that was kind of the first real breakthrough in the boxing career of Lorenzo Medina. So he's taken that, you know, he's parlayed that into sparring some of the best fighters in the world, like Lawrence Okoli, Philip Hergovich, and I've had a chance to attend some of those sparring sessions. So I know what kind of fighter he is, and I know what kind of fighter he's developing into, and he's developing at an exponential rate. And I just really think when you talk about the young, bright stars of boxing in South Florida, he's got to be towards, you know, he's got to be on the list. You know, he's really a fun fighter to watch. Slick, defensively sound, can get on the inside of taller fighters and beat the shit out of them. That's kind of what he does, right? So that's what he's bringing to the table. Andrey Mangushev, you know, tall guy. They were trying to get him to campaign at cruiserweight early in his career. Now he's a heavyweight. Tall, lanky frame, 6'7". Was in camp with Tyson Fury, was one of his sparring partners. I think from what I've seen from both of them, I think Andrey has more to prove in this fight because Andrey and Lorenzo do share a common opponent, and that is heavyweight journeyman Milton Nunes. Now, you can't do triangle theories, but like Milton Nunes fought Andrey Mangushev in 2021 at this local card in Brickell for the ABF title, right? Make of that what you will. But when he fought him, he really struggled with Milton Nunez. I had to really grind it out, and to his credit, he did. So you know, it was what it was there. But then Lorenzo Medina fought Milton Nunez just this past, you know, a couple fights ago this year. He beat the shit out of Milton Nunez. So I feel like Andre has a unique opportunity here because Andrey Mangushev is looking to make a name in boxing for himself. Andrey Mangushev is being kind of overlooked and written off by a lot of people in South Florida, and he's got a unique opportunity to really stop this Lorenzo Medina hype train before it even leaves the station. And that's got to give a fighter extra motivation. That's got to give a fighter that extra oomph from that push to go harder in training. So I would expect the best, like Andrey Mangushev, humanly possible. Not the worst, but the best, because he's going to need to be his best, beat Lorenzo. So it is what it is there. Now talking about how the two match up, I think Andre is going to have to really have to find a way to exploit Lorenzo Medina for, you know, use that size to exploit Lorenzo Medina, because he's significantly taller, significantly longer. It's a 6-round fight, so you know it's not like he's got to outbox Lorenzo for 12 or even 10 or even 8. He can find a way to bank 4 rounds. If Lorenzo gets out to a slow start, Andre can find a way to bank some rounds and put some pressure on him and maybe box his way to a decision. We'll see. And you never know. I think Andre is going to also have to find a way to keep Lorenzo off balance and run him into something as well if he can. So there's that. As far as Lorenzo, I think Lorenzo's very good about, he's great defensively. He's very good at making guys miss and making them pay. And he's also a very talkative fighter in the ring. He talks a lot of shit and that can get into the head of an opponent. So when you fight a guy like Lorenzo Medina, you got to be strong, and because his style is the kind of style where it'll drain you. It'll drain you mentally, it'll drain you physically, and it'll drain you just in a systematic fashion. So real good fight. This is, I believe, the first installment of Most Valuable Promotions, Most Valuable Prospect series, and I want everybody in the mother to watch this fight. I want everybody in the mother to tune in, because guys aren't big names right now, but you know, one of them could be. They both have been around, you know, top fighters in boxing. Like I mentioned earlier, Andre's sparred the likes of Tyson Fury, and he's been around some of the best fighters in boxing at Warriors Gym. That gym's a great, both these gyms really, Warriors Gym and Beta Bay Boxing, they're both great gyms. They're gyms that I frequent a lot in South Florida. They both have fantastic fighters at the gyms. They both have great gym culture. So I'm finding it very intriguing that we're going to see 2 of the premier gyms in South Florida have fighters fight each other, you know, on a national level on DAZN. So it's great to see. It's great to see boxing in South Florida doing well and thriving. And as far as who do I think is going to win the fight, I'm going to have to go Lorenzo Medina. Straight up, I'm going to have to go Lorenzo Medina. I just think, as the old saying goes, skills pay the bills. I think he's the more skilled fighter. I think he's the better defensive fighter. I think he's might even punch harder, honestly, which is kind of crazy, because 2 or 3 years ago, Lorenzo wasn't really punching like that, but he's starting to mature and fill out. Like, he's no longer that fat kid. He's no longer that fat kid from the Baby Powell who's just kind of winging his shots. No, this is a fighter that's really put in the time. And like, I've had a front row seat to both these guys' careers. I probably have had a closer seat to Lorenzo's career than Andre's, but I'm very familiar with both. And what I can say about Lorenzo, I think right now Lorenzo's what, 18 or 19 years old. He's a very young man, but I'm telling you, he's very inspirational to me, because I know what he's put in to get to this point. Like, I know what he's put in to be where he's at right now. And for a lot of people, this is gonna be the first time seeing him, and I don't see him losing to Andrey Mangushev. I just think Andrey doesn't have the tools to deal with what Lorenzo's going to bring him on the night. And we're going to see. If Andrey beats Lorenzo, then I'm going to have to come here and humble myself. So he has a chance of proving me wrong. A lot of people are wrong. But I think the fight may start off for a round and a half where Andrey is actually having success with that range and with that size. But at some point, like, Lorenzo's going to get on the inside of those arms and start chopping that body down, and Andre's not going to really have many answers. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, there was a lot of criticism from Lorenzo Medina on social media that Andrey was ducking the fight and didn't want to take the fight, but he does deserve some credit, because at the end of the day, when push came to shove, I don't know he's finally taken the fight. So he clearly has to see something. He clearly has to believe he can win to some degree. So we'll see what happens, man. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Lorenzo Medina. I think he beats Andrey. I think he goes to 7-0 and makes an impression, and people in boxing that don't already know him a little bit better than they do now. So I'm very excited for this fight. I'm not gonna be at Haney Lomachenko. I'm not gonna be at Rolly versus Ismael Barroso in Las Vegas, but this will more than likely be the first fight I go to in the States, because this is a South Florida fight. This is a South Florida fight between two fighters from gyms that really have played a massive role in the development of this channel. So I have to go there. I have to show support to Beta Bay Boxing. I have to show the support to Warriors Boxing. I got to show support to Coach Jeff Poritz, who's Lorenzo's trainer. I gotta show support to Timur Bragimov, who I'm very interested in. You know, he's Andrey Mangushev's trainer. Who I'm very intrigued to see what kind of game plan he has, because you know, Timur Bragimov, former 1996 Uzbek Olympian, former heavyweight contender, good fighter in his day. I've been at the gym when Lorenzo has sparred in front of Timur, so there's a lot of familiarity here. And I think if there was ever a coach that could come up with a game plan to beat Lorenzo Medina this early in his career, it'll be Timur, because Timur Bragimov has seen Lorenzo Medina in the gym so many times. So that's really the intrigue of this fight to me, and hopefully I give you guys a little bit of insight as to who these guys are, what they bring to the table, and what you could expect on May 26th. So yeah, I'll be talking about this fight more as it gets closer and closer. I'll try to get an interview of both fighters in both camps before the fight happens. But yeah, Lorenzo Medina, Andrey Mangushev, May the 26th, DAZN. Be there, be square. Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.
Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. We're here at the Hatanaka Boxing Gym in Nagoya, Japan. And for more great videos just like this one, make sure you guys click right here.